How to close off range in Taekwondo. I break down one of the recent fights of Adrian Vincent Yunta, one of the few world champions. Now I'm going to show you his strategies to easily close the gap and strike techniques every single time from his best range. If you want to improve your Taekwondo strategies and learn new combinations, give me 5 minutes and watch the full video. In this fight, Adrian uses a particular shot to close off range. First, we have to analyze the stance, because we can't undervalue it for multiple reasons. He uses a slight inclined stance so that he can easily avoid high kick. Instead of rushing in like most of us and risk his point, he slowly steps in. This is his secret. He slowly steps in to close the distance. Instead, Adrian never runs toward the opponent. Every single time he slowly steps in to close the distance and find his range. So why does he slowly step in? Because every single time that you get close to your opponent is a small window to score on you. So Adrian slowly step in to avoid to lose his focus, and he can easily read the opponent move. And if you are focused on your defense while you are advancing toward your opponent, it's very easy to block your opponent high kicks. Meanwhile, if you are focused on rushing toward our opponent, we are not going to put a focus on our defense. So we expose our weakness to the opponent, and the opponent can easily strike high kicks on us. This tactic allows him to enter in his range and gain multiple advantages where he can play. Now that we understood the core strategies, we have to go deeper to analyze this strategy and understand how can we apply this tactic to our fight. Because of course this is beautiful to watch, but we want to bring this tactic in our fight or this video is totally useless. And we have to know what we have to do after we start with this strategy. For what I watched, we have two types of outputs. First, there is a collision. So our opponent decided to attack us and respond with these techniques. And I've already shown you a little bit how to act, and I'm going to even show you how to act when this happens. But this is not that hard because we have just to focus on our defense. So we are slowly stepping in and we are waiting for the opponent, and then we are going to counter to the opponent technique. The second output that we can create is that he is going to step back. So we advance and he goes back. Slowly advance towards your opponent is much better than dashing, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. When we know that our opponent can strike something on us while we are advancing, so we know that he's going to collide with us in some ways, we are more focused on our defense. So we are going to react much faster compared to when we do not know what is going on. Because if we think that, like for a goalkeeper that is ready to block a ball that is coming and he watch the opponent that is going to strike, of course it's much easier for the goalkeeper to block that ball. If we know that our opponent can start an action, of course we are ready to receive it. So it's much easier for us to react properly to an opponent's strike if we are advancing toward the opponent, if we are ready to counter. Because when you know that your opponent is going to strike on you and you can read even his attacks, you already know what type of technique or maybe block you have to use to block the opponent technique. And this is also a good idea to provoke your opponent by slowly advancing. Instead, when we are passive, when we are just waiting our opponent that is going to attack first, so we are just waiting our opponent without provoking him, we do not know what he can perform. We do not know if he's going to strike from a farther position. We do not know if he's going to feint. We do not know if he is going to step in or maybe use a spinning kick. But if we pressure our opponent, we reduce his choices because we are going to get close, so the opponent can't strike every type of technique. We reduce the type of technique that he can perform, and it's much easier for us to counter or block the opponent technique. And if he has a few choices, it's even much easier for us to block those techniques because we can read much better those techniques because we are ready to receive those 3, 4, 5 type of techniques instead of an unlimited type of technique we can receive from a further distance. So with this stupid and simple strategy, we dictate the rhythm of the match. And this is very important in every single type of sparring. That's Taekwondo or is box or is MMA. For the second output, if he's going to step back, it's even better for us, because if we continue to push our opponent toward the corner, we are going to hit the ground and we are going to push the opponent in the corner, where we will have even more pressure on our opponent's mind. If we pressure the opponent, our feints will be more effective than our opponent. So we can create openings thanks to our feints and we can score more points. And when the opponent gets in the corner, he can't run away. So we can easily score high kicks, high spinning kicks. We can take even more points just because we push the opponent in the corner. And this is a device that I put in every single video. When you push your opponent in the corner, you have to aim for head kicks, because when your opponent is in the corner, he can't go everywhere. Because most of people train line, so most of people are very good on step back and step in, but are not very good on side steps. If you aim for a helmet, when the opponent is in the corner, we are going to score a lot more head kicks. This is a very simple strategy that works a lot for basic black belt or even mid-level black belt, and it works much more for color belt. So if you're a coach, teach your guys for combinations with high kicks with your opponent in the corner. And trust me, they are going to win a lot more fights just because you teach them to fight in the corner. So if you are able to react properly when we advance toward your opponent, this strategy is a win-win situation. In the first case, we are like a goalkeeper. So we know that the ball is coming and we are just to dash or block the ball. In the second case, we are like a lion. We are advancing and we are waiting for a mistake. Then, once we understand this strategy, we have to add some techniques. Or this strategy is useless because the goal of a fight is to score more points on our opponent. So we can, yes, play mentally with our opponent, but then we have to close the action in some ways. We have to score points in some ways. One of the main reasons, because this guy closed the distance, is to perform a particular combination. He steps in, like we watch, he controls the opponent, he controls the opponent leg, he steps in, he's ready to block every type of front leg, then he close off and strike with an axe kick, because from a close range it's much easier to score on the opponent head with those type of rules. So we can waste less energies, just lift our leg and score on the opponent head. This is a combination that works for every type of player. We have watched this combination, not only this guy, a lot of Korean use this combination, some Korean use even this combination to score on the armor, on the chest instead than or back instead than helmet. So it's a very simple combination that works every single time, and it's very simple. We are just to close the distance, we can throw a punch and then close with an axe kick, but I think that most coaches teach us this combination because it's very simple and score a lot of points. Only maybe some beginners coach does not teach this combination, but if you're experienced 100% you're going to teach this combination. I know that. So nice to meet you, I'm Lorenzo. I love to watch high level Taekwondo fights and share what I realized in those videos on YouTube. And as you can watch, if you want to know more about Taekwondo, if you want to learn how to apply high level fight strategies in your fight, if you want to learn more combination that will help you to win more fights, I advise you to get the access now to the full video by joining my membership. In this section, you are going to find multiple Taekwondo videos. You are going to watch a full Taekwondo guide. The price is very low, it's barely for free, so it's still something that I add for community and to monetize this channel. But if you want to improve your strategies and you want to continue to watch this video, support this channel and join my membership.